If you've ever felt that we're moving toward a world where Big Brother is always watching us, that is certainly true of the motorist. Camera enforcement, especially here in the UK, is becoming more and more prevalent. It's getting to the point where if you so much as for a second drop out of line or do something wrong, you'll be issued with an automatic penalty. Hopefully we'll never get to that stage, because drivers do make mistakes. Sometimes we find ourselves in the wrong lane, we take a wrong turn, and sometimes our speed may creep slightly above the posted speed limit. How do you feel moving towards this 100% enforcement, where perhaps even our car will dob on us and get us into trouble if we exceed the posted speed limit or do something that maybe we shouldn't do, even if it was a momentary lapse of concentration? This video, we're just going to look at some of the ways that camera enforcement is being used, how it is being rolled out, and we're going to look at some of the downsides for that. But I'm also, for balance, going to mention some of the benefits of this camera enforcement. The first cameras we ever really got used to on our roads were speed cameras that would monitor the speed of cars passing. In the main, these are set with fairly reasonable thresholds. You've got to be going it to trigger one of these speed cameras, and the speed averaging cameras certainly do help to bring down the speed of cars through roadworks. And there is a safety impact there. In these roadworks, you've got narrow lanes, you've got people working at the side of the road, and they really do need drivers to drop their speed a little bit. And many drivers just don't use their common sense and carry on, or would carry on, driving at the posted speed limit without any regard for other road users or the difficulties of navigating these narrow cone-laden roads and lanes. Car parks are moving toward ANPR, automatic number plate recognition systems, where the number plate is logged as you go into the car park and then is logged as you go out. There's quite a clear demarcation, a timestamp is obtained, they know how long you've been in the car park, and that eliminates the need for wardens to go around enforcing the parking restriction. Now, I think we've all had a situation where we've not got back to our car in time and we've gone over the ticket that we bought at the machine. So ANPR allows us to pay at the end of our stay and reduces the risk of getting a fine or a penalty just because we were unnecessarily delayed. It's very easy then to tick over into the next charging period. So we may be there for an hour and 5 minutes, and the ANPR system will collect 2 hours fee from us because that's really what's due. We've stayed there over an hour, so we're paying that fee. Quite a few recorded incidents and appeals where this system has not worked as intended. For example, people have gone to the theatre, they've come out of the theatre and they've paid for, say, 3 hours parking, but there's a queue getting out of the car park, which in some cases takes 15-20 minutes just to get out of the car park on a main road. If you've all come out of the same theatre, that is highly likely to happen. Now, the ANPR system is not forgiving, it's not understanding. It will just issue tickets for every car that is stuck in the car park, although you've finished parking in that car park. Let me know if you think that's fair, that drivers are being fined for the delay it's taking them to get out of a car park that is no fault of their own, and whether you think these parking companies should have greater regulation or greater scrutiny and not issue these fines as instantly, and at least have a human review on every single fine that they issue. The ANPR system in car parks also makes a log, so our registration number is logged, so there is a trail potentially of where we were at a given time. And for some people, that is just a privacy implication they don't want. Even if they have a completely clear conscience and have done nothing wrong, they don't like the fact that there is this trail logging where they are. And it's probably only a matter of time before this information is sold to advertisers or other big corporations to bombard us with targeted advertising. I'm not aware of that happening at the moment. Let me know if you've heard differently. We now have a number of toll roads, particularly bridges and tunnels in the UK. Down here in the south, we've just had the Silvertown tunnel open. They're also now charging on the Blackwall tunnel, which used to be free to get under the Thames into London. And the QEQM bridge, or the flyover, is also another toll fee. Now, even within Kent, you are paying different people for these toll fees. And in some cases, you just have to miss one little sign that says toll fee, pay online, and you'll be issued with a penalty in the post. If you're a tourist in these areas, it's very easy to fall foul of these. You have a very limited window of being able to pay for the crossing. Wouldn't it be much fairer if there was a unified road toll system where whichever road we go on, if there's a toll applied, it goes to this centralized account and we don't have to keep setting up accounts? Now, fiddling around with the apps, setting up these accounts is a real pain. It's very complex, and potentially would have to do that 2 or 3 times on one trip through the country if we've not used these systems before, just to avoid these fines and penalties for using these toll roads. I think it would also be fairer for the first offence to not result in a fine or a penalty, but for a notification to be sent warning the driver that they had to pay a fee, giving them a limited window to pay that fee, perhaps adding an administration fee. But in my mind, it is really unfair to just slap a driver with a fine, particularly if they were expected to pay a toll fee on that road and the signage wasn't particularly clear, or maybe they were distracted with a safety concern while driving and they just missed that sign as they drove through. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. The future is getting even more complex. Not only are cameras on motorways just watching for speed, they're also watching driver habits. So centre lane hogging, tailgating, driving too close to the car in front, not using a seatbelt and using a mobile phone while driving are all now being logged and monitored by these camera systems. And they're often monitored by AI, and the AI will just watch 24/7 all of these camera feeds and just flag up any potential offence that it's spotted, and then action could be taken against the driver of that car. Now, you might argue that this is making our roads safer and that drivers shouldn't be doing this anyway, but wouldn't it be better to educate drivers, or is that a waste of time? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and whether you agree with this enforcement of all these other things, or whether that is just a step too far. Let us know in the comments if you've ever been caught out by one of these automated camera systems, the circumstances, whether you felt it was fair or not, and if you were able to appeal the fine or the penalty that was imposed. If you've enjoyed this video, please boot that like button. That really does help us to get out there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Again, that helps us to get out there with the algorithm when it sees people subscribing and signing up. And I've lined up this video and this playlist for you that you should find really interesting. So see you in these next videos. Thanks for watching all the way through.